Alrighty, y'all, welcome back. Welcome to the Bassallyear channel. Appreciate y'all tuning in again today for another video. Now, this is one I was supposed to make back in probably the beginning of February. This is obviously by the title going on of our Bassmaster Opens sequence of videos, and we've uploaded the pre and practice of the first Eastern Open there on the Semi-Chain Lakes for the Bassmaster Opens 2020 season. Got that video up, got days 1, 2, and 3 final weigh-in videos. Got all of those, the weigh-ins and fishing and everything up. And the last video here, again by the title, is how much does it cost to fish the Bassmaster Opens. Now this will be my second season fishing the Bassmaster Opens on the co-angler side, and I just kind of want to point it out. Made a couple notes and kept all my receipts. I do that anyways. I'm a traveling electrical contractor, so got in the habit of keeping all my receipts for purchases anyways. Do it for tax reasons at the end of the year. I did it most importantly for this video because I wanted to show you guys how much it costs to fish these events. Now, it's very important to know that I am self-affiliated, I'm self-sponsored, I like to call it. I don't have a dad who's put me through this. I don't have a dad who bought me a boat, paid my entries. I don't have an uncle who works for one of the leading fishing companies in this industry. I don't have any of that. And I've always been very driven and curious about fishing Bassmaster Opens. When I was over stationed in Germany for 2 years in the Army was really when my curiosity began for the Opens. I can remember them as far back as high school, when I was in high school and reading about them and just thinking there's no way I'll be able to fish those. There's no way that I'm gonna sign up and get picked to do it. And I never really knew how easy it was to fish the Opens. So when I got out of the Army about a year and a half ago, I was working my first electrical job, and someone had approached me to be a link to get into the Bassmaster Open, sign up for all 4 events. To make a long story short, that year got cut, lots of life expectancies, and I should have known it transitioning from 4 years active duty into the civilian world that there were going to be a couple hiccups. There were. I got into a relationship with my better half, and I moved north in the state, which kind of just threw some hiccups as far as, moving into a house, setting everything up in our lives. I was able to fish 3 of the 4 events. So unfortunately it sucks, it happened, and you lose your entry fees. I had a piss poor performance on Harris Chain Lakes, finished like 180th, bottom of the barrel, and you don't make any money there. Which brings us here, and like I said, self-sponsored. I don't have anything going for me. This is all laid out on the table literally in front of me of what I paid to get into these things. So I broke this up into 5 important categories: entry fees, food, fuel, lodging, and miscellaneous. Miscellaneous being the one you want to have the tightest budget on, because that's things like baits, drinks, just unnecessary things you really didn't need. And then it makes you open your eyes when you look back at it like this and realize how much money you spent on miscellaneous things you didn't need. So we'll start off with entry fees. I'll kind of talk about how the entry fees work in the Opens. Now, you have to throw a deposit down. So the co-anglers and the pros, into the beginning of the season, you throw your deposits down for however many tournaments you're fishing. Whether you're fishing just the Eastern Opens, all the Opens tournaments, whatever it is, you're throwing down a deposit to secure your slot for that event. So coming up forward, I came out $800 just to fish 4 tournaments. And that covers less than half if you're cut for the tournament. So a couple weeks out from the tournament, you still owe another $275 to bring your total up to $475 per tournament for your entry fee as a co-angler. Now again, you're coming up $800 for your deposit, so you're already $800 in the hole after your $275. Now you're at $1,075 for your first tournament, just in entry fees. So how I kind of put it in my head, I kind of forgot about my deposit money. And we'll get to that here in a little bit, but I kept in my head, as long as I can make the $475 back and get my money back for this tournament, I'll be happy, But I forgot. When you move into a house and you have a cell phone, you have a truck, a boat, fuel prices, insurances, you realize that you have a lot of bills and the money doesn't stretch as far as you thought it might have at one point. The other thing is you have to take time off work to go down and fish these tournaments, which I don't have. I'm a contractor. I don't have vacation days. I don't have sick days. If I don't go to work, I'm not getting paid. So I took 4 days off of work. The tournament starts on a Thursday. I took off Monday night. I took off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Took off 4 days. A lot of money that I took away from myself. Basically, I needed to make about $1,500 that tournament to break even. Most likely wasn't going to happen the way that it's set up. You really got to fish hard and fish good. My rent was due that week, which I wasn't working. So I was extremely pressured to go down and make money in this tournament, which is, all jokes aside, I had to come up and pay my rent. I'm not going to put what that number was, but I needed to make more than that number was. So we're already at $1,075 and we haven't even gotten to the point of packing our bags to go fish. Now let's add up fuel. Got my fuel receipts, which I've saved up everything over here. And for fuel, I put $49.68 to get down to Orlando from where I was at. I drove a little 6-cylinder single cab F-150 that I have. That got me to Orlando. I put another $16.24 when I got to Orlando to kind of putsy around town, grocery shop, in preparation for the tournament. I spent another $21.28 that week driving around, whether I was hanging out with buddies, fishing ponds, you know, just driving around. And then I put $50 in the tank to get back up north of the state, which was my final destination. That brought me to $137.20. I'm gonna put that into our calculator because we're not mathematicians. So now we're at $1,212.20. Now that is total fuel cost that's back to our destination, but with fuel, with entry fees, you need to feed that body of yours to be fishing, right? So in total, I spent $107.92 on food. Not bad for 4 days, but I can usually get through 2 weeks on about $200 of food. So this definitely included a lot of eating out and groceries of that nature. So we're gonna plug that number in as well, which is now bringing us up to $1,320.12. Going into lodging. Now lodging is a big one. Lodging can double your number like that, especially for pros or co's that are going down and practicing. That was the other thing. I didn't have any practice going into the lake. I grew up kind of fishing Toho in the Kissimmee Channel Lake, so I kind of knew, thankfully, what baits I needed to throw to get bit down there. So that was good. So I didn't have to go down and practice. I was able to just go out there with prior knowledge that I had. My family's from Orlando, so I was about 40 minutes from the ramp, so lodging worked out great for me. My parents actually flew up north to, my brother was having his first child, so they flew up north, and so I was able to stay at my parents' house, and I took care of their dog while they were gone. So they got free dog boarding, I got free lodging. Dog lives for free, I live for free, it was great. So that worked out in my favor. Also, my traveling partner, pro Jason Castile, lives and is from the same hometown I'm from. So we just rode together and saved each other prices on fuel to go to and from the lake. So that saved us a lot of money as well. So basically I'd wake up in the morning, an hour before he had to leave. I'd drive 15 minutes to his house, help him get the boat together, load up, we get in the truck, head to Big Toho. So that worked out good. So lodging was free. That made it, you know, worth it. But our final expense was miscellaneous. Mind you, is my second biggest stack of receipts. I spent more on miscellaneous stuff than I did on food, and the total of miscellaneous was $129.76. So that's bringing our total to $1,449.88. We're right at $1,450. And I'll just kind of read off a couple just so you can see in context when I'm talking about silly stuff. So we went to 7-Eleven one morning before the tournament on one of the days, and I got 2 bottles of 20-ounce waters and a 14-ounce bag of gummy worms because I'm a sucker for gummies. So that was $3. Bank withdrawals for $40. Now that's just for fuel costs for the boaters. You know, cash coming out for people. It depends how far you run, in my opinion. We stayed on the north side of Toho the whole second day. We barely really burned any fuels, and my boater from the day before took 40 of the 60 I offered. So that's really cool. The other thing, a lot of your boaters will accept a certain amount of numbers. Some of them don't. Some of them only want half what you offered, but you kind of have $60 ready to go. That kind of helps cover his oil and fuel expenses for everything. Here's Big Toho. This is 201. That was for a Mountain Dew bottle. I remember the second day I was absolutely parched coming off. Super nervous if I was going to be making fish on the third day, so that was for a soda. Big Toho again on the first morning of the tournament for $13.28. That was for a breakfast sandwich and 2 packs of spicy beavers. I remember that. So that's that. And then Big Toho again for $11.80 on the afternoon of the first day. And that was for baits I caught fish on the first day and a Mountain Dew. And then Bitters Bait and Tackle. Now, I went here after the tournament. Every time I go to Orlando, I try to make it through at Bitters. Those guys are really good, and I enjoy that shop a lot. Local and Longwood, that's what these orange packs on my wall are. Bitters Baits, 2 for $6 of their bags, any of their styles, colors. So all in all, I cashed a check for $1,000.50 by the grace of God above. And I was able to pay my rent that week, and I was able to put some money in my pocket. But if you count that up, this is the final number, $1,449.88. If I minus $1,050, I'm still in the hole $400. 400 bucks I spent to go fish for 2 days in a tournament. That's debt, whether it's a credit card, whether it's your uncle that owns a fishing company, your dad, there's debt somewhere. I had to cash, and I told you, in my head, I figured about $1,500 in order for me to make it on top. And I was at $1,450 of spending everything. And again, that's free lodging. That's a huge bill off of your rack. When you add these up, if you're doing it for the seriousness and like the dream of it, man, you are scowling every day, clawing just to make it financially. And I came up, in order for me to even pay for my deposits, I had to sell a trailer of mine that I had, kayak, fishing gear. I sold a ton of stuff in order just to throw my deposits down. And I figured, you know, within the coming weeks, I'll just couple bucks here and there, and I'll have the $275 to pay to, you know, be able to fish the event, to bring my deposit up for the $475 each tournament. Now, a lot of the money I put into the tournament, I'm not going to see back. Thankfully, I wasn't throwing on credit cards or anything like that. And in the midst of all this, in the aftermath of all this video, my F-250 blew up. So add that. I had to put an engine in it. I just got it back. Stay tuned to the channel. You're gonna see the vlog of that truck getting back. A lot of work done to it. We had to lift the cab. It was a lot. So things like, they just snowball into this big effect, man. And it's a big confidence boost, and it's awesome. I was super proud of myself of winning a check and being able to take that money, bring it back home, and pay my rent, so I wasn't gonna lose the roof over my head. But when you write it all on paper like this, and you go back to your receipts and realize you won $1,050, but you also lost $400. There's $400 that you paid for before that you didn't get back. At the end of the year, if you come up with all this money and all of that's gone and you didn't have it in a savings or it's on a credit card, you're in debt and you're gonna be paying the tax man or the bank. It's tough, man. This scene is crazy, and people don't see, they see the person on the final day hoisting the trophy and the check, but you don't see the process through. Again, I finished 22nd in the tournament. Got $1,050. It cost me $475 just to fish the event. So if you just take that away, you're playing with 500 something bucks. Literally had to cash the check in order to pay my rent that week, or it would have been, I was out of money. I was terrified. Literally, after the first day, I realized I only had like 8-9 pounds. Actually, I had my weigh ticket. I had 8.5 on the first day. I was like, dude, that's it. I'm gonna have to call my landlord today and tell him, hey, it might be a couple weeks where you get your rent this week. Again, I'm not trying to like freak anybody out from fishing the opens. I'm gonna do a whole other video on how everything kind of works and how you can get into it. But I just want to make sure if you're getting into this, be serious about it. Like, I wear t-shirts that I buy for 30% off from companies that are graceful enough to work with me. I've worn the same steel toe boots for 6 years now, and I still work in them every day. Like, there's a lot of things I don't spend my money on so I can do this great hobby that we love right here. I don't buy fancy clothes. I don't buy fancy really anything. You know what I mean? I do and buy what's necessary for me to live each and every day, and I bust my butt at work. And if I want something that's extra at the end of the month and I don't have money, I sell some possessions and assets to make it happen, like this, like the deposits here. I hope this kind of puts a lot of things in perspective for you. Again, congrats to everybody. You know, this is big, and for the pro side, I don't know how you guys pinch the pennies to do that. Between driving to the tournaments and everything, I don't see where the money comes from. I really don't know how some of these guys fish these tournaments, and I don't know how some of these guys come back for 4, 5, 6, 7 years, especially my age. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know where the money's coming from, but good for y'all. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Glad you're chasing your dream. That's just my story. Hopefully some of you guys can relate to it in a way. Hopefully this kind of gives you a little behind the scenes look of what really goes on to these tournaments. Again, this is all on a pen and notepad in my bedroom, making these videos to you guys. I made $38 last month on YouTube. None of this is for the money. It's for the love and absolute passion of the game. I'm super driven to what I do, and I'll never stop. So I hope you guys hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, stick around to the Bassallyear channel for more awesome bass fishing style videos, vlogs, unboxings, equipment, everything you need in the bass fishing industry world. You can find it right here on my channel. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns regarding opens, tournaments, registration, anything of that nature, anything in general, throw them down below in the comment section, and I will reply to every comment below. That is a die-hard promise. Until next video, you guys get out there, stay safe, wash your dang hands. We'll see you guys right back here on the Bassallyear channel for another video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, y'all.